Yes. So let me read this one. Yeah, I've already explained how to get your VS Code. Just download it and then you open, you double click the software, you just click next until the installation is done. So once you have installed your VS Code, what you do, you go to your start menu and then you search VS what? VS Code. The same thing we were doing with searching Anaconda. Then you open your VS Code, you give it a minute. Yes, you can see my VS Code has opened. So mine may be look a bit different because I have configured some. I have made some configuration. So even the color of the VS Code might be maybe different from yours. So what you do once you have opened this one, what you do, you go to this. You can see here we have so many options. The first one, this one, if you double click it, this is a file explorer. This it is the same as this one. This one. Only that it is from what? It is from VS Code. So in case maybe you have created a folder. So if you click this, then you will have all the files within the folder you have opened. Okay. Mhm.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Like when I open mine,
Uh-huh.
say start new file, open folder.
Uh-huh.
So where do you click?
No, I'm just going through the tabs, all the tabs, explain them, their uses, then you can know from there,
Okay.
you can understand what you are supposed to do. That's fine.
Yes, I get it.
Okay. So yes, I was saying here the second tab, you can see the second tab here. I'm saying if you click that tab, this tab stores all the files you are working on it. So let's say you have created a folder and you have created several files within that folder. So this tab will display the folder and then the available files. I will give an example so that it will be easier. And then we have this one, that is a source control. So the work of the source control, this is those who are working with the what? The Git and the GitHub. So those are actually the version controller where you can work actually you can work online, or you work from your local machines and then you can paste your files actually online and collaborate with others. Yes. So we are not going to use this one. I'm just explaining for the sake of understanding it so that don't confuse it with others. And then we have this one. This is now where you can work. You can use this button here to run your program. Okay. So if you have created your program, you can just use this. You place this one, and then your program will run. Also, it can be used for debugging, but this case, just understanding what the running of the what of the program. And then we have this one. These are a remote what explorer. So this one remote explorer and this one they are the same. They go in hand. So this is someone who is working with Git or GitHub. So you do not need to use this one at this stage. So the only important things they are these. the Explorer, and then this one. This one is, it says it is what? It's extension. So if you click that, you can see so many suggestions of the required extensions. So what are extensions? Extensions, these are actually small programs that allows you to connect to what you want to do. So in VS Code can work with what? You can, from VS Code you can work with all the languages, all the programming languages. Maybe if you have installed C, you can work C from VS Code. If you have installed R, you can work R with what? With a VS Code. So what you need to do is actually install that R, so the interpreter, and then you install what? You install your what? Your actually extension to connect you to that program. So in this case, we are working with what? We are working with Python. So what you do, you search an extension of Python. What you do, you just write Python here, that in that search box. So you give it a time, it runs, then it gives you all the extensions associated with what? Python. So for this case, you try to what? You try to install the first extension, this one. So mine have already installed. So what you do, you just click that first extension, that's Python IntelliSense, and then you install. You install that. In this case, you are this side, you are given an option to what? To install that extension. So you do the same. You install this extension. So just take a minute and do the same. Take a minute and do the same. Take a minute.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it a must that we should install the so-called audio? I don't know, S audio. Is it a must?
This VS Code, this program that I'm opening.
Yeah.
No, it's not a must, but it is actually, I'm trying to make work easier for those who are having difficulties in opening the files with Jupyter Notebook using the previous method that we worked on yesterday. So this one will make easier.
Okay.
You will just double click your file, and then it opens with VS Code. You start what? Typing.
Okay, well understood.
Yes. So it's not a compulsory, but I advise you to install VS Code because there are so many advantages over just working from the Jupyter only. So this one has many advantages.
I,
You will
I, I
receive them. You will receive them. Yes.
Hi, Juma.
uh,
Yes.
So I was trying to install the Python, but now it's installing Jupyter and Pylons. That's okay.
Yes. Just install the first one. Once you type Python, the first extension from the list, you install that one. If you install that one, you are okay with it. Okay.
Let me send a screenshot.
Yes, I'm trying to actually guide you on how to start with the VS Code. Then we will recap all the things that we did yesterday. So right now we are just doing the VS Code. Then we finish it. Then we start actually doing the actual work.
Is there any
So
other way?
so if you have done that, if you have done so what you do, you come. Just a moment. You come here again, in your search box, you just delete the one you have written, and then you search Jupyter. Once you search Jupyter, you just give it a time, it will give you several options. Yes. So I prefer for you to install the first option from this list. install this one. You just click that, and then it will give you an option here at this side to what? To install that extension. So if you do so, we'll be ready to do actually the typing of the commands. If you have done so, then it will be actually ready to start working with VS Code.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm trying to install the extensions you have just said, but seems it is searching within the within the laptop's disk.
What?
I'm just trying to search, but it can't search from wherever. I can't be able to install it.
But it gives you the list of those extensions you are searching.
No. It is telling me you have not opened or specified a folder.
So
Only
just try to follow this. Let me explain at the second time. Then we actually understand what we are doing. So I'm saying you open your VS Code. Just at this time, click your search from the start menu, and then you type VS Code. Yes, so you can see my VS Code here. Then you what? You double click or you just click. Yes, you click once, and then when it opens, it opens this way. Okay, it opens this way. Now we are not working on the creating or opening folders. So what we do, you go to this. You are on your what? On your leftmost side. You can see a list of what? A list of patterns that you are required to do. The first one is, you can see it's a search. Okay, and then I'm saying the two most important, they are what? This one, the second one from this list, the second one, which is an explorer. So if you click an explorer, I've said an explorer displays all the files that you are working with. Okay, and then the second most tab to use in this case is this one, which is known as extension. So you click your extension. So if I click my extension, then it comes what? It comes with a search box. And then I've said a VS Code, in a VS Code, you can work with all the languages, all the programming languages. So what you do, you install that interpreter. For this case, we have already installed Python. Okay. Then after you have installed Python, what you do for you to work from the VS Code, you need to what? To install a Python extension. An extension will allow you to connect to the interpreter. That in this case, it's what? Python. So once you have installed that specific extension, you will be able to what? To use your Python from VS Code. So my first extension I've said is to search actually Python. So if I search that way, if I just write the word Python and then give it a time, maybe a minute, okay? Then it will give me a list of all the extensions which are associated with Python. But in this case, I've said you install the first what? Extensions. The first extension appearing, which is what? Which is Python IntelliSense. Okay? So if you click that one, on the other side, it will give you an option to what? To install. I've already installed. So the only option that can be displayed here is to uninstall that extension. Is that okay?
yes.
Yes. And once you have done that, what you do on the search box, you just delete what you have already typed, which is Python. And then you search for the second extension, which is what? Jupyter. So you just type the word Jupyter. Yes. Then you give it a time, maybe a minute. Then it will display all the extensions which are associated with what? Jupyter. But in this case, you only need to install the first extensions appearing from that list, which is what? This one, Jupyter, Notebook Support, whatever, interactive. So if you click that one, then on the other side, you would have an option to install. Click install. Okay? So once you have done that, you are ready. Now let me cancel this one again.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. So everyone is ready because you have already installed what? The two.
Excuse me, sir.
Bado ndio inaingia.
You have already installed the two what? Extensions. Is that okay? If you have a problem,
Mr. Juma,
yes.
on my end, what I'm noticing is when I pick the second extension of Jupyter, it gives me an option of create a Jupyter file, not an install.
No, just after you have installed, just relax and then we will do the rest. Okay, you just wait.
It didn't give me the option of install Jupyter. When I click on the Jupyter extension, the other side it gives me option for create Jupyter file. That it doesn't give me the option of install. Or is it an assumption that it's already installed because of yesterday's activity?
I'm assuming the same. But if you see mine, because I've installed, let me open this one. So if you see mine, just a minute. So if you see mine, I go to the extension. Just a moment. Yes, I go to the extension. I click this part, and then when I do the searching, that's Jupyter. Let's say Jupyter. Yes, and then give it a minute. Give it a minute. Yes, so you can see my list of all the extensions associated with Jupyter. So if I open the first extension, this one, I click this one. What I get to the other side can show me whether I've installed the extension or not. How can I know? Because I've already installed this extension, you can see the option I have here is to disable that extension or to what? To uninstall. So it means I've already installed. That's how you know whether you have installed your extension or not. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So no, the one who is asking a must, it's not a must to install VS Code. But my advice that when you are in the VS Code, it is easy to work with these codes. Okay? It is easier to work with these codes. It is easier also to what? To work with the Jupyter and Python files because you can able to double click and then you open those files actually directly. Yes. So is there anyone who is using the Google Core app so that I can explain how to upload your files, your notes into the Google Core app? Just comment something. Just comment something. Comment something. Yes. Let me see if there is someone who has the. So I'm assuming there is no one who is using the Google Core app. But if you still you are using, you can go to the file, then you go to upload option, you upload all your files that you want to use. And then you just double click those
No
files.
sound. It's like you have muted yourself.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yes, I'm saying I'm not seeing anyone who is using. For this one, Dairy Mokaya, have you installed the Python extension? Dairy Mokaya, have you installed the Python extension?
Yes, I've installed the Python extension, but I can't install the Jupyter extension. I keep getting an error.
So try to restart your VS Code and then you do the same.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So let's actually go to the actual work. So I've already done that one. So what you do when you are working with a VS Code, I said you use this one here, this tab, which is an Explorer. So you click that one. So an Explorer displays all the files or the folder you are working with. In this case, there is no folder I'm working with. So if I want to open a new folder, what I do, I go to the file option here. Then I go to the, from file option, you can what? You can create a new file. Then you can create a new text file. Then you can create a new window. But let me just explain those. We will be doing this one. So you will understand them the more we are using them. So let me go to the how to open those notes we are working with. So what I do, I go to the file option, then I go to the open folder. I'm not going to the open file because my notes were in what? In a folder. So what I do, I go to the option open folder. I click that one. Then I come this one, my notes. In this case, I've placed them actually in local disk D. So I will go to my PC, and then I see all the nini. And then this one, this is a new form D. This is where my notes are. So it depends yours where you have pasted. If you just downloaded them, you go to the download option, you will see your notes there. If you downloaded them from WhatsApp, or maybe they are in your document. I think that one you will understand, or you understand. So in this case, I've said my notes are in new form D, so I click that one. Then they are in this folder. Then they are in this folder. Okay. So I'm just navigating to where exactly my notes are. So this is the folder containing those words, those notes. So I select the folder and then say select the folder. I click this one. Then I give it a minute. I give it a minute. So what will happen? What will happen? What will happen? These are the current files I opened. What will happen if you go to this file, the Explorer from VS Code? You click the VS Code, the Explorer. You will see all the files within the folder that you opened. Okay, my folder is here. My folder name is here. It's Python KU master. And then these are the contents within that folder. So can you do the same?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Mine I downloaded, but I can't still find it the way you are saying.
Which one?
Yes?
I mean, what you can't find? What you can't find?
Joseph, did you download and extract the file?
Oh, So some of you have not extracted the file. Okay. So this is the files are sent. Let me just try to download the files from WhatsApp. Okay. Let me try to go to the WhatsApp and then try to download those files from there. Yes. Can I see them? This one. So these are the files are sent. So what you do, you what? You save as, and then you decide where you want to save as. Maybe this time my current working directory is what? Documents. You can see here. This BC, then you go to documents. So I can save it here. Okay. So if you go to your local machine, then you go to your documents. Yes, you can see your what? Your Python KU master files. Okay. And then I sent this file. I sent another file. I sent another small program. Let me go to date. Yes, this one. It's a win what? RAD program. So this program will enable you to what? To compress or uncompress the files. If you see this file of mine here, it's what? Compressed. So what you do, you install this program. You just open it and then you click next, you install that program. Once the program is installed, now you can able just to click these files, that I want to work with, and then from there I can do extraction. Another way, you can just cancel, you right click these files, you right click, then it gives you options. You can see here extract files, and then you can see an option extract files here. Okay, so I can choose this extract files here. If I choose that and I give it a minute, so you can see my folder here have been what extracted from this file. So and then this is my folder now files. They are uncompressed, and then you want them to open those files using what? Using a VS Code. So what you do, you go to the search menu, the search box. In search start, then you open your VS Code. Yes, after you have opened your VS Code, you give it a minute, and then you go to the file option here. You go to the file option. Yes, you go to the file option here. Then you go to you want to open a folder. You are not opening a file, a single file. You want to open all your files. Let me go back here. If you open this folder, Python KU master, you will see there are what? There are many folders and subfolders, and then many files. So I want to open everything. From where? From this. So this folder will open everything. So what I do, that's why I've selected an option of what? Opening folder, not a file. File is when you want to open just a single file. Okay? So because I want to open all the files, I will open the whole folder. So what we do, I go to the open folder. Then my files were in what? I downloaded them and pasted them in documents directory. So I click the documents. Yes, so you can see my files, they are here. It's Python KU. So I select, don't double click, just select it. You just click once and then you do select the folder. And then it will open your what? It will open your all the files within that folder. So I think that's fine. If it's require you to, because I have downloaded those files for the first time, it will give me a warning. So just click yes, I trust the authors of this folder. If you click that, then you are good to go. So these are my all files and subfolders that I want to use. So is that okay? Hopefully now you have at least understood what you are supposed to do. Okay?
Hello.
Yes.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
As you say that the VS Code is not a must to be installed,
Yes.
and for that information,
if you
for
understood
that
yesterday,
information,
if you
for
understood
that information, I haven't installed it, and I'm seeing like the whole lesson today is like we are gonna use
so I'm just completed.
the VS Code
I'm just
method. So
completed.
us who have not installed it, how will it help us?
So that's why I'm saying I'm trying to help those who are unable to understand the procedure of opening the files from yesterday methods. Okay. So if you
Okay,
understand,
so
I'm just finishing. And then I will just starting those in it. So we can't leave others behind. Okay.
okay,
Yes. So I'm actually done with those things. So if you did not understand, maybe you will just deal with that later. So mine is this one. So we have already talked about introduction. So if you open the introduction, you can see a file. This is a Python file. You can see it has a what? .py file. Okay. So if you open that one, you can see several programs. Huh? You can see several programs. So in Python, we have what we call comments. We have what we call comments. So comments, we say these are what? These are the statements which, when you run a program, Python does not execute those statements. Let me open the what? Let me open my Jupyter. Let me open my what? My Jupyter notebook file. So I go to the file, and then I click a new file here, and then under this one I can see several options. I have a text file, I have a Python file, I have a Jupyter notebook, I have an R document, R markdown. So I select Jupyter notebook. So I click this one, Jupyter notebook. So then I give it a minute. Then I give it a minute.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, so could you please repeat the extraction point? I'm kind of lost in extracting my file.
I said, have you installed the program, the small program I sent to the group?
Yes, I
Kindly,
am.
and also resend the notes you sent in the group. Resend them. We can't find them.
Okay.
Sir, may I have a question? I have a challenge.
Yes.
I extracted it, then nimeweka into VS Code, but now it is not showing as files. So I can't, when I try to open one, it is not, like introduction, it's not opening the program.
What do you mean?
So I don't know if I extracted very well.
Can you see the list of can you see the list of the subfolders within Python KU?
There's no folders, but it shows all the list, introduction, variables, operations, strings, lists.
So double click the. What do you mean there is nothing like that? What do you mean? I've resigned the notes.
What I'm trying to say,
Can you see this?
like I
This
have
window
already
here?
extracted the,
Can you see this window
like
here with the
the way
list
you
of
have clicked,
subfolders? If you can't see,
Wang
just
Sasaina.
click this folder, the Explorer path, the Explorer here. If you click that, it will give you the files. So it means you have not clicked there. So I've already designed the notes. They are here. They are coming. So you give it a minute, and then you extract. I said you installed this program. Let me resend it. You guys don't actually take your time to do what is sent in the group. Mhm. So let me try to. So meanwhile, I've said in Python we have statements, and in some statements we have those statements when you execute a program and then Python assumes them. So those statements they are called comments. So in Python we denote comments by starting with an hash. Okay. If we write a statement and then in the start of the statement we write an hash, then it means that statement becomes a what? A comment. That statement becomes a comment. That statement becomes a what? A comment. So I want.
So have you seen my screen? My screenshot?
Yes.
Joseph, it is okay like that.
Yes, it's okay. So you can just double click that folder and then it opens. It's just like mine. If you can see here, I just double click. If I want to open the operators folder, I'll just double click that folder. Alt click, then it will give me the files within the operators folder. I can see operators.md. Yes. So I've said in Python we have. So this is my Jupyter. You can see this is my Jupyter, but it's in what? In VS Code. So you can see cells. So I can type my commands, then enter, shift to enter, then the what? The program will run. So I've said, let's say we have a program, right? Print what? Print.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting. Could you please repeat how you opened the Jupyter?
Okay. I've said to open a Jupyter, you just go to the file option and then go to the new file. This one, the second option. You click that file. And then it will give you an option of which type of the file you want to create. In this case, I'm interested with what? A Jupyter notebook file. This one here, Jupyter notebook. So I click that file. From there, it will open a Jupyter what? A Jupyter file. And then with a single set, then I can type my commands there and run. So that's okay. Okay. So I'm explaining something. I said, let's write this program that print your name. You know that it will run and then your name will be displayed. Just give it a minute. Give it a minute.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Please repeat on how you searched the thing.
Which thing? The extensions.
No, what? Just you've done it right now.
I've said from VS Code you can now create a file and then you start working with that file. Is that okay? So what you do, you go to the file option here. This is a file option. You click that file option. It gives you options to what? To create a new file. You go to this new file and then you click that one. Then from there, it will give you a list of the file formats or the types of files you want to create. In this case, I'm interested with creating what? A Jupyter notebook. So I select a Jupyter notebook. If you click that one, it will actually what? It will actually open this Jupyter notebook here. You can see these are the cells. It's labeled as cell number 1. So there I can do the typing of the commands that we did yesterday. Is that okay?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I'm still waiting on the extracting on how to extract the files. You were starting to explain it, then you went to something else.
No, I said I've sent in the group. I've sent how many files? I've sent this. I've sent. Yes, this file. here. The one who is said, I have downloaded this. So what you do, you download that one and then you install that program. It will enable you to extract the file I sent. Is that okay? You know, we are still on the file side. Okay? So let me leave the file side so that we can do something else. I've said when you want to open a new Jupyter notebook, what you do, you just go to the file and then you click a new file, then you select the type of the file you want. In this case, Jupyter notebook. So once you select, just start typing on the cell displayed in a Jupyter notebook. So yes, let me just do the running. So I've explained what's a comment in Python. I've explained what's a comment in Python, and I've said a comment is in Python, it's a statement that when a program is executed or run, the actual statement is what? It's not executed. Okay? So Python assumes that statement. It goes to the next. It goes to the next statement. It doesn't execute that statement. Okay? So that's how you understand the comments in Python. They are not executed. And I've said if you want to create a comment, what you do from the start of the statement, just type the hash sign. So that word statement becomes a what? Becomes a comment. Becomes a comment. Yes. And then yesterday we what? We did some simple programs. We said to output a result in Python, you would use a print what? A print function. You would just print and then inside the print function you insert what you want to do. And then we did some data types. We did some data types. Then we said in Python we have so many data types. We started with the numbers, and then with the numbers we said we have two types of actually numbers, data types in numbers in Python. Namely, we have integers and then we have the front type. And then we said the integers, these are whole numbers. Just like 1, 2, 3, and then onwards. So those are what? Those are integers. They are defined as integers. Then we said we have also the front type. In the front type, we said front type, these are the what? The numbers with decimals. The numbers with the decimals, they are what? Defined as front type values in Python. So another values that I did not explain, they are known as complex numbers. So complex numbers, they are part of numbers types in what? In Python. So complex numbers, if you have done maybe statistics or mathematics or something like computer science, you would understand that complex numbers, these are numbers with what? With an imaginary part. These are numbers with an imaginary part. So let me just open my VS Code and then I'll show what I'm trying to talk about. Yes. So an imaginary part, it's actually given us when you are trying to actually find the square root of a negative number. So I need answers in the message box. Just send what is the square root of negative 1. Square root of negative 1. Square root of negative 1. For someone, you can, if you have an answer, just unmute your name, then you can share with us. What's the square root of negative 1? What's the square root of -1? Anyone?
Math error.
No, it's not an
Math
error.
error.
It's not an error. So
I.
yes. So the square root of a -1 is I.
I.
Yes. So if you don't know, today you have discovered something. Square root of -1 is what? I. So complex numbers, they have actually the normal part.
But I is -1.
What do you mean I is -1?
So it's like that square root.
I squared is -1.
Yes.
So the
I
square root
squared.
becomes
Yes, I squared is it -1 or yeah, it's -1 actually.
yeah, I squared is -1.
Good. So we were in I. I've said complex numbers they have what? Imaginary part. So the I side is an imaginary part, and the other side it's a normal part. That's a numerical part. Huh? The int part. Huh? Yes. So, let's look at these notes of mine. Let's look at these notes of mine. And then I would create a Jupyter notebook. This notes of mine, we have what we call built-in functions. I've already talked about these ones. Built-in functions, I said these are functions which are already what? Are already defined. So what you do, you just import a function and then you pass a parameter. You pass what you want to be done, okay? And then you what? You get an answer. So a simple example of built-in and simple example of a built-in function is a print function, okay? A print function is an example of a built-in function. You just write print and then inside print you pass what you want to be displayed. Another example that we used yesterday is type function, this one, type function. And then we said in type function, you just what? You just actually write that function and then anything you pass that, the result you get is a what? A data type of that value you have what? Passed within the function type, okay? And then we did strings, huh? We did strings. We did strings. We did strings, and then we said strings in Python. Strings are what? They are represented using a quotation marks. So if you pass anything within quotation marks, Python identify that value as what? A string type. Is that okay? And then so today we want to write some programs. So what you do, print some programs, huh? Print some programs. Maybe let me just talk about the variables and then you start typing. Okay. So we have variables also. Then you said variables, these are the what? These are the values that we assign to, these are the names we assign to values, and then those values, we expect those values to what? To change with time. Okay. And then we used an example of x. We said x same as to 4, and then we print the result of that x same as to 4, and then we did an example also of x is same as to 5, and then we did print x same as to 5, and then we find the result is what? 5. So we said x was initially 4, and then it is as varied to what? To 5. Okay, so we said that value is what? A variable. It's a variable. It's a what? A variable. So Just a moment. So I'm just trying to talk about the theory part. Just trying to talk about the theory, and then we will start typing very soon. We will start typing very soon. Yeah. So I think you have been able to run programs in VS Code using a VS Code. So you can see here we have already talked about the data types, and then we said the files in Python we are working with, there are three types. We have a what? A Python file which are represented as .py. We have a file extension of .py, and then we have a Jupyter notebook files which have an extension of .i, p, y, and b, and then we have those files with what? With .md. So to .md they are referred as markdown files. And then we said markdown files we can write notes. If you can see what I'm trying to display here is a markdown file where you can see there are what? There are actually several what? Several nodes. So yes. So let me type my program. It takes some time. So I've already explained this part, what we did yesterday. This is what we did yesterday. So I've explained this one. I wanted to do some what? Some actually, maybe to do one to two actually equations. Then we finish that, we go to the variables. So my VS Code is not responding very quickly. Let me just try to open the other normal. Just a moment. So, but you can do the typing of commands. Just try to even output your names. Try to output the values. Yes. Try to do also operations, simple operations. The operations are actually additions. So maybe you have 1, 2 plus what? 3. Try those operations. Next, you can write. You see my notes here. We have those operations. We have those operations.
I'm trying to do the same, but I'm not getting the output.
Are you using your VS Code?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, what to do? Just try to open the normal one because you have already opened the notes in your VS Code. Try to open the normal one, the one from the command prompt, like this one. I've already typed, and then it will open. Just waiting for it to open from the web browser, and then use that one to type the command. So by tomorrow, maybe we'll be sorting those those small issues. Yes, I've said these are some of the commands I want you to type. Just print, then you give these ones. These are operations that you want to do. Okay? So the first one, it's additional operation, which you know. Then the second one, it's a what? A subtraction operation. The third one is a multiplication. So in programming, we indicate multiplication using the asterisk sign. How do you go to the asterisk sign? You just go to the shift and then you place 8. It will give you an asterisk sign. To give you an asterisk sign. So yes, that's already opened. So I can go, for those who are using this, go to Pivot, then Python 3. Then want to yes. So I've said try to type these values, these commands. So try to type these ones and then you get a result. You'll get a result. Try to do them. They are just straightforward. Then we have these ones. I've already explained how to do multiplication. You use asterisk sign. This sign here. It's an asterisk sign. How do you make that one? You just shift and then you place 8 in your keyboard. And then we have division. You use a backslash to indicate division. Okay. And then we have modulus. We use percentage sign. You go to the shift and then you press 5. You press 5, it will give you a percentage sign, and then that percentage sign it give you a modulus, a value of a modulus. So for the modulus, how does the modulus work? So the modulus works this way. So this is the value of the remainder of what you are trying to do a division. So for this case, if you can see, it's 3 modulus 2. So in that case, it means we will divide 3 by 2. You know 3 by 2, it's what? 1 point something. So the exact value is 1, and then the remainder is what? The remainder is what? It's 2. Let me type this one. So I've said maybe 4, and then modulus what? Modulus 3. So the answer is going to be this way. This is how it works. It divides 4, you divide by 3. The exact value, the exact number you get, it's 1 point something. So the remainder is what would be displayed. So if you 4 divided by 3, the remainder is what? Is 1. So if you run that program, it will display 1. Is that okay? So try many examples. So you can make 8, then modulus 6.
Juma,
Yes.
Juma, that is okay, but what is the logic? Like, why would I want to look for 1 when dividing 4 by 3?
But you know, this is the starting of programming. These things we are going to use, okay? Just understand the way they work.
I just cram for now.
Yes, understand the way they work, and then you wait for the how you will use them. We will use them. There is nothing that we are not going to use them. If I'm saying something, then it means we are going to use them.
Okay.
Is that okay?
All right, we'll cram it for now.
Not cramming, just understand modulus, because you have done even these things in actually college level. For those taking mathematics, yes. So I'm saying modulus works that way, and then we have the opposite of that. You have the opposite of what that's a floor division operator. No, so the floor division operator will just give you the exact number now. The exact number that 3 divided by what? Let me give a different example. Maybe 7. 7 modulus what? Modulus 2. You know the remainder here is what? The remainder will be 1. And then the exact number will be what? Will be 3. So if we do the floor operator, that is 7, and then we do that, and then 2. So the exact number is 2 divided by 7. 7 is actually close to 6. So 6, that's 3. So the answer we expect is what? A 3. Anyway, just play with these numbers. Huh? You play with these numbers, and then you get an exactment. And again, you will use this when you are doing with complex programs. So play with these numbers. Just type them because they are already here. I've explained how they work. Now you can see the result. Then let's go to actually variables. Go to variables. Yes. So I want to do a question here. Write a Python comment saying day 2 days of Python program. So what I do, I'm not going to type for the case of time. I just write this. I've written that one, and then Control C, copy, and then come here, and then I want to paste. So this is what I want to be displayed, but in a comment form. We said comments, we indicate comments from what? By placing an hash sign from the start of that line. So if we place hash, then that would be a comment. So you executed. Yeah. So you see there is no value because I already explained the what the comment means. It means these are the values that they are not going to be executed by Python. Okay. So Python actually what it does, it just goes to the first character. The first character is what? An hash asterisk, and then it will go next to the next line. So in this case we have no next line. So this statement it's not executed. That's how you answer the question 1. Then another one is declare first name variable and assign it a value to it. So what does it mean? To declare a variable, it means that you want to assign you want to name a variable. Okay, you want to name a variable. So in this case, your variable is what? Your variable is the name of that variable is first name, and then you give it a name. So what you do, just say first name. Sorry, you say first name, and then same as to maybe edit. Then you when you run that program, it will what? The first statement, it will not what? Display and edit. Why? Because you have not prompted Python to display that result. So what to do to display that result? You add another line, and then you can simply type first name, you can simply type first name, or you can what? Simply what? You can place that value in a print function. So you type print, and then inside print, you what? You place your values. Okay. So if I run, I'll get the same answer. And then someone can ask, why are we not writing the first name in quotes? Can someone try to answer that question? Why are we not writing inside print function, the first name should be in quotes. Why are we not doing the same and we are getting a result? Because someone yesterday he said he printed his name using a print function, Juma, and then he got a result. But when he removed this what quotation marks, he tried to print, there was what? There was an error. To give you an error here. So I'm asking a question. In this case here, why? Yes, you can see there. This is the error. It says the name is defined. And then I gave an answer that this is because Python doesn't identify these values, doesn't identify the data type of this value, what you have passed here. So my question here is that why the first name is not in quotes and the result is given. Someone try to answer that, then we move forward.
Because
I think it's a variable name.
Because it's a variable name. Another one?
Because it has already been defined.
Yes. So that's the correct answer. Is that the correct answer is that we have already what? We have already defined or declared the first name. You have assigned it to a value. So you don't need to place them in quotes. Once you declare something and you assign it, you don't need to what? To place it in quotes. Because already Python identified that as Eric. You see? Yes. Let me go to the second question. We are going slow, but maybe we'll catch up. The problem is that we are dealing with the installation problems. Then we have another question that declare a last name variable and assign to value to it. So can you do yours? Can you do that on your machines? Declare a last name variable and assign it a value to it. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Okay, let me go. Let me do it. So you have said declare what? A last name. So what you do? You declare a last name. Then you sign it a value. Say my value is what? Otieno. And then we said if you run this one, you will not get the result. You need to tell your Python to output that result. So you can just simply write last name and then done, or you press that in what? A print what? A print function. You'll get the same thing. So someone asked there, maybe is confused or she was confused when to write the print and when to not write the print, okay, to output the result. So let me combine this, copy that one, and then I will paste this, and then I want also this one to be what? Copy that one, and then copy this way. So let me just remove the print first of all. We explain when you are supposed to use the print and when you are not supposed to use the print. So I've said simply you can just what? You can just write what you want to display and then it will be given. The same way what we have done here. So if you can see in my side we have what? We want two outputs, okay? We want two outputs. But I've not placed the outputs in a print function. So if I run this program, what I will get is one of the result of this word thing here. And this is how the program executes. So Python always executes a program from the what? From the first line. Okay? So Python comes here and then it reads first name, then it says Serich, then first name, it gives its value. Now because I've not entered this value in a print function, what your Python will do, it will overwrite this value here. So it will come first name, and then it goes to here, and then finds you need also to output another value which is last name. So you will get actually only Otieno. Let me run that program. So I'll get only Otieno. But if I want the two result, what I do, I will place these values in a what? In a print function. In a print function. So this both result, what I want to be displayed, I will just place it on what? A print function. So I get Eric and Otieno. So that's the difference in case you are wondering when to use the print or when not to use the print function. So that's, I think I've explained it. And then let's try to go to this. So you will do these things. You will do these things. Let me talk about some of the built-in functions and their uses. Some of the built-in functions and their uses, they are here. So, recap, let's try to use what we used yesterday. Yesterday we tried to use a built-in function named type. Okay? So, type, we said it displays the data type of that value. So, if we want to display type of the last name, we get what? We get a string, because this one is a what? A string. It's in quotes. The Eric value is what? A string value. So if we want to display other values, maybe type of 5, we get what? An int. And then type of what? Type of 6.2, we get what? We get a float. And then let me give an example of what? A complex number. Complex number is same as 4. And then you add what? You add 2i. So complex number, you can use either I or J to denote the imaginary part. So if I write this one, what? Oh. Let me just equate. I is not divided. What? So let me say x. I have forgotten. So I is not divided. Let me see. This one. Anyway. Yes, so this one works. So I think J works. So if I try to output the type of x, I expect the result to be what? A complex number. So complex, it will be displayed as what? Complex. So then I think we have done that. So let's go back and try to go to the other thing. So that's how to use the built-in function type to display the type of what? That value, the data type of that value. Let's try to use another built-in function. We discussed about the casting. Casting, huh? So we said casting is where you want to try to change. You are trying to change the values of what you have. Maybe what I have, maybe let me give an example of x is same as 2. So who can tell me the data type of x? The last one, this one. Data type of x. Someone tell me the data type of x.
Complex.
No, I'm saying this the last one. The last one I've written. String, another one. Another one?
String.
Okay. Why string? Because
It's a variable.
String.
it's inside the what? it's
Because of
two
quotation
is
mark.
inside a
Quotation
quotation.
marks.
Yes, 2 is inside a quotation mark. So that value becomes automatically a what? A string. So if I type, use the function type to output the value of that x, I'll get a what? A string type. Now, what if I want to change this value? Because if you see, 2 should be what? An int type. Okay, maybe someone mistakenly then he placed 2 in a quotation mark instead of just being 2. So what I do the casting. So how do you do the casting? You just write what you want to convert to. So in this case, I want to convert to int. So I would just use the built-in function int, and then inside int I pass what I want to what to change to int. That's x. So let me try to assign this using a different value. Maybe this y same as to x int x. So if I try to output y, I will get what? 2. Okay. Let me check the type of 2. The type of 2. Type of y now, in this case, it's what? An int type. So what is happening is that we have changed a string type xm as to quotation 2 to what? xm as to 2 or y same as to 2. But it's the same thing. Mumeelewa hapo? Anyone with a question there?
May I have a question?
Yes.
Yes. I have an inquiry. My Jupyter stopped working. Juu inanionyesha error, so mimi nimekuwa nikiangalia tu chenye unafanya.
What I've said, even mine stopped. So what you do when your Jupyter stops, if you open through a command prompt, you just cancel this one and then you restart. You open another window, then you type what? Jupyter notebook, it opens. So in VS Code, you will do that later because we are taking a lot of time to explain those kind of things. Is that okay?
Yes.
But in this case, let's try to concentrate on these things. So is there anyone having a problem understanding what I've written here? Anyone with a maybe?
I have a question.
Yes.
I didn't quite understand why the first 2 was a string.
Okay. So I said in Python, all strings values they are inside a quotation. If you see here, you can see my 2 quotation marks. Is that okay?
Okay. I
So 2
understand.
was a number, but I placed it in a quotation mark. So that value becomes a string type. Yes.
Okay.
Anyone with a question? So you have understood the casting.
Please repeat the casting.
So I've said the casting is when we want to change the data type of the value. The data type of the value. So let me use x maybe here equals the same ndio watu wasichanganyikiwe. Let's x remain the same. Baadaye our x and y. So I've said here, the first program here, if you can see here, we have divided x same as 2, but 2 is in a quotation marks. Therefore, that x becomes type what? String. So if you display the type of x, you can see it's a string type. And then we have said we can cast, we can change this 2 to actually an numeric number. Okay? So what to do, you just write the function that the type that you want, the name of the type that you want to change to. So we want to change to int type, okay? So the int type, and then inside the int type, we pass what we want to change. In this case, want to change x here. So we pass x. So if we will display x will be 2. Now this 2 is not the same as this one here because we have already changed to int type. Okay, so this 2 is a what? An int. To confirm that one, if we use the type function of x, it will display an int type. Let me just run it. You can see the same thing. Now, let me try to do the same, but we want to convert it to front type. How do you can do that? Can you able to do that? From where we are, we are in int type. Can you try to convert to a front type? That's value of x. Just try. So I want this x to be displayed as value front. Okay, let me do that. So if you want to do that, you just say your x now would be same as 2. X same as 2. Want to change to front, so you use the word front. Then you make your brackets. Then inside the brackets, you pass what you want to change. I want to change this one x, which is an int type. So if I place x there, and then I want to output x, I will get what? A front type. This is 2.0. We said front type, they are what? Decimal values. So if I want to confirm that type of x, I will get a what? A front type. So that's how you do casting. Let's go to another thing. So you would actually use these nodes to do something. Let me use the ren function. The ren function, built-in function. So we have ren function. What does the ren function does? It displays the range of that that variable. Let's use an example of string. Let's say y is same as 2. I am this is my first class. Okay, so but y is a string, and the value of that string is that it gives this is a what? My first class. So if I display y, you can see there. Okay, before I go to the what I was trying to explain, let me explain this error. This error here. Let me explain this error. So if you can see, my first y starts from this, and then I reassign it to this is my first class. And then I want to output y, but try to look at the position of the second y. It is ahead of the first position. So in that case, we have an error that's known as a detention error. A detention error is that this is an error that occurred when you what? When you change the positions of the values you want to output. So my y for it to remove this indentation error, this y I'm trying to output, I would do what? I will move it back to the same position as the second what? The second to the first. Let me go to this. To the first y. This is where the statement started. So for me to output the value of y, I need to place that y to start with the same position. If that's not the case, then I will have an indentation error. So if I run this one, it will output my y. But if I do the same mistakes I did, if I move y forward, I try to run, then I will have what? An indentation error. So that one is very important. If you are trying to run programs and then you encounter an error and everything is fine, it's due to an indentation error. It's the position of what you are trying to run. So I go back, run this one. So I was trying to say, I want to use the ren function. Okay. So I've given an example of a string. Then the string, the name of that string is y. So y is, the values are, this is my first class. So I want to explain how the ren function works. So if I just type the ren, and then inside the brackets of ren, I pass y, I'll get a result. So this is how it works. The range function determines the range of that variable. Okay? The range of that variable. So in strings, we have something called what? Indexing. Okay? So we have something called indexing, such that anything here in anything what we want to display is what is indexed, and the indexing starts from 0 to onward. So let me just run this one. So you can see the range of the function y is what? 22. This is how it works. It comes to here, y is same as what? This is what? My first cap. So it counts, it starts from 0. No, I mean, the indexing starts from 0, but it counts the values now. So indexing works as the t is index 0, the h is index 1, the I is index 2, the S is index 3 onwards until you finish the what your characters are. But the range function, it counts now those values. It just states that the first value is t, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then counts the spaces also 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So it gives you an answer of what? 22. That's how the range function works. So you will understand things because we'll be using them now and again. You can't do anything with these things. So at least you have understand some of the built-in functions. That's how they work. Okay. We have others, but we will use them with the time. Another one which I want to also is the input built-in function. What the input built-in function is that it allows you, when you run the input function, it allows you to enter values from the keyboard. So if I run this, if I run that, you can see a search box is displayed, and then it will tell me to enter something. So if I enter 4 and then click it, so we have a result of what? Of 4. Let me repeat it again. So I've said we have a built-in function called input. So the input built-in function, it allows someone to enter values from the keyboard. Instead of saying x same as to 4, x same as to 4. Now, what if you want to enter 4 from your keyboard? You say you use the input function. That's input. And then you place your what? Your brackets. And then you press enter. It allows you to you put your 4 now. Okay? So you can see my 4 is what? It's displayed. Anyone with any problem with the input function? I think.
At that level of input, I notice it has interpreted your input as 4 inputs.
Yes, I want to explain that. So all values that can be entered from the keyboard, they automatically what? They automatically becomes strings values. They automatically becomes string values. What if you want now to deal with, maybe you are just want to deal with what? Maybe to do the sum. You add the values. So what you do, you come here, you assign your values, because if you want to add you add values, you should add up at least 2 what? 2 values. So what you do, you say x is same as 2, and put what? Your x value. But we have said those values are what? They are strings values. They are converted to strings. That's why we have 4 in quotes. So to do to do the summation, you only need to deal with what? Deal with numbers or the integers or fronts. So what in this case, you apply what we have done here, that's casting. So you write your casting, you want to cast to integers, so you write the function to cast to integers, that's int, and then you place your brackets. So everything should be inside int function. So if I run this one and I place 4, you can see now my 4 doesn't have the quotes because 4 is what? If I run type x, I will get what? Sorry. Let me pass x. I will get int type. So I think I've answered the question. Is that okay? Is that okay? Yes. So let's go.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
So the way I've said, maybe you want to do summation, you want to output 2 values. So you must have 2 inputs. That's correct. So maybe my first input is this one. So it is this one. And then I want to do almost the same with y. I'll paste it here. I'll change this one to y. And then here I want to do the summation. That's x plus y. So I will run this program. Then I will enter the first number, which is 6, and then press enter. Then it gives you to enter the what? The second number, maybe it's 9. And then it will do, if I run the second set, and then we have the summation, that's 14. So is that okay? Now I think everyone is able to use the input function so that you can enter the values from the what? The keyboard. Is that okay?
No, could you please repeat it?
Okay, so let me repeat. I'm saying we have an inbuilt function called input. So what does that input does? It will allow a user. You know, when you have your laptop, you are a what? A user. Okay. So it will allow a user to enter values from the keyboard. If you try to actually type these values, yes, so it will allow you to what? To enter values from the keyboard. So I've said, in this case, I want to enter 2 values, and then I want to add those values. So in this case, I want to enter the first value is this one, the first input value. Let me remove the int. Watu wanachanganyikiwa na hii vitu mingi. The int. Wacha nitoe hii int ndio watu wasichanganyikiwe. So you can see the symbol input what function. So if I run this one, it will display a search box where I should enter value 1, which I have assigned to x, and then it will automatically also give me another value, another input. This is the first input, and this is the second input. So the first input I have assigned it to what? To x. The name of that input is x. Then the second input I've labeled as what? Y. So if I enter x, maybe it's 5, 6, then it will tell me enter another one. If I try to enter another one, maybe I place 79. You can see those are the values. Okay? Is that okay? So, but we have said this way. Someone was complaining about this 4 with quotes. And you know, anything with quotes, it's a string type. Someone complained and said, why are we entering values? Are we entering numbers? That's 4, and we have 4 in quotes. And I told him, all values entered using input function, they automatically what? They automatically assigned to strings values. So What if you want, string values? String values are like your names, okay? So you can't do summation. You can't do summation on your names. They are text values. You can't do summation, okay? So what if I want to do the summation? So I need to convert those values into what? Into the int type or the front type. So that case we apply this method here, the casting. We apply casting to help us convert the string values that we are entering from the keyboard, and then when those values becomes integers, now we can do the summation. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Excuse me.
Yes. So now, now,
Excuse me.
okay.
I've done what you've done, but it's not giving me like the option of inputting it. It just keeps going and the time just keeps increasing.
What did you write?
I wrote x is equal to input, then the two brackets, y is equal to input, the two brackets, and then
Can you run
I run
that cell? Run the single set. What you do, your cursor should be inside that cell, and then you shift enter.
Yes, I've done that.
Yeah, that something to enter.
No.
Can you make a screenshot? Make a screenshot so that you can see why it's not doing the same thing. So you have said that's how you enter values from the keyboard. So send it to the WhatsApp group. Okay. Send it to the WhatsApp. Send it to the WhatsApp. Mhm. Okay. So, but it should be working. It should be working. So maybe you haven't. Have you started your program from this side? Because it can have also an indentation. If I do this, I move X forward, and then I move this Y forward. Automatically, I would have an error. That's that's the reason. You can see this one will not be what? Will not give me that whatever. So check your
So mine too.
yeah.
Mine too.
So does it work?
No, I ran the code. I ran the code and it's loading still.
Okay. Can you check the status of this whatever? If we have like this one, we have an what? Asterisk sign inside that brackets. It means your program has not completed the what? The have not completed running. So when your program or the set has completed running, it displays the what? The set, the running, the run number. Okay? So maybe you are having like this. If you see this program has not run yet because you have an asterisk. But this one, it already ran because I can see the number 48. You can see these numbers. So if you want the first set, you can see it is given number 1, 2, like that way. Anyway, let's go to another thing. So I've talked about the input. So if this one, so I need to open a new something because
Hello, just before you open, I think you could have finalized 6 plus 40 something so that we don't have the string value.
Okay, yeah. Actually, my program is not running, so I want to open a new, yes, this one. So sometimes the server, I said these things we are running from the server. So once we run from the server, it might actually what? We have those runtime problems. So we said, I still think it's taking a lot of time to run. You can see there. Okay, anyway, I can see. So then try to write these values. Yes, so if I try to add x plus y, you're going to see the numbers were what? 47, 87. Okay? So you know 47 plus 87, it will never have this number. Is that okay? Is that okay? 47 plus 87, what's the actual result? The correct result of 47 plus 87? Someone can give me an answer.
134.
134.
134.
Okay, but in this case, we have 47, 87. This is how it works, huh? So we said all numbers we are entering from the keyboard, they are converted automatically to strings. So this 47 is a string type. This 87 is a string type. So what it has done, it is, so in string type, when we use the addition sign, it will actually concatenate. I think you have done something that in Excel. It means it will rejoin. It will just rejoin. Okay? If you do, let me try this one. XMS, name, one, same as Juma. And one same as Juma. And then I have also name 2, which is same as Geoffrey. So if I do name 1, then you add name 2, what will happen? It will just write Juma, and then it will join with Geoffrey. That's what we are calling as concatenating. This one. This is what has done to these values. It is 47 and then concatenate with 87. So it comes 4787. That's okay. Now you have understood why we have 4787. But remember, our question was to have what? To have numerical values. To have 100 and what? 134 as a result. So what we do, we cast these values. We cast x, we cast y, so that it comes what? Int type. So what you do is just say x same as int, and then the value of what? X. Then you say the y same as int, and then y. So if you do that, it will just convert those values to what? The int type. So let's do the same for 7, and then you add 87 to give you an answer of what? Of 134. So that's okay, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Could
So
you please check the WhatsApp email, send the screenshot?
so you have sent something in WhatsApp. Mhm. So that's how it does work. I can't see any identification. So what happens?
So it's still loading.
What happens? You know your program is still running. If you can see this arrow is loading, so it hasn't completed the compression, so that it will prompt you to enter the values. So that's the problem. What you do, you can restart here your server or create another file. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you.
So the same
Excuse me,
like you
sir.
saw mine here. You saw mine here. Yes, this is mine here. You know, I ran this program and then it hasn't completed the running. So I have no output or no prompt to enter something. So what I did, I opened another one. So this one works. Yes. So I've done some inputting, then whatever. So let me talk about the what? How do you call this one? The indexing. Let me talk about the indexing in strings. I've said string we have
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
I was asking,
Mm-hmm.
you see, for the one you've done for integers different, and please go back to your where you've done the sum.
Mm-hmm. This one.
Yes, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, you had done another one, but you had done integer before the inputs.
Mm-hmm.
Can that still work here?
Yes, you mean okay. The previous one is that I joined this one in a single sentence, okay?
Yes.
So it can work, that can work. I've done actually that's the right way to write those things. Because this one I'm making a lot of codes. This one I'm making a lot of codes. I can just delete these things because I'm writing so many times. Let me delete it. And then I'll just place this result. This result I will what? I would place it inside a what? An int value. So what I do, it's an int and then weka bracket hapa and then unaenda huko mwisho kabisa unaweka bracket nyingine. Iko sawa hiyo. And then you do the other one. Int bracket here and then to the last one. So it works. It works. 47 and then 87. Then you run this one, it works. Okay? That works, huh? This is the correct
Okay,
way.
thank you.
This is the correct way to write these things, but I did expand so that some people can understand what's happening. Okay, I did expand for purpose of explanation. Otherwise, this is the correct way to write these things. So, good practice is to make your code as simple as possible. Yes, but for the explanation purposes, that's why I did the other way. Yes. Is there any question before I move to indexing? Is there a question? No question. Let me move forward. So I've said string values, they are what? They are indexed in nature. And then the indexing starts from 0 onwards. So it depends how many characters do you have. Okay? So look at this. Look at this. We gave a name 1, name 2. Not this side. So we gave name 1, which is same as 2. Let me give a sentence. So sentence same as this is the indexing in strings. Now look at this one. So then I want to display the sentence. Look at this way. I've defined a variable known as sentence, then I've given a value which is a sentence, and then I've displayed that value. Okay? So the value is this is the indexing in strings. Then I've said strings they are what? They are indexed. Strings are indexed such that the first value of that string is given as 0. Okay? And then the second one is given as 1. The third one follows that what? That trend. So I can access I can now access a particular character in that string using what? Indexing. So what I do, I will just write the name of that variable. In this case, is this a sentence? Sentence. That's the name of this variable that we have given here. And then I use what do we call them? This one. How do we call this one? The square brackets, huh? Okay. I use the square brackets and then I'll give the values. So those values, they are indexing values. So if you look at this, what we have is this is the indexing in strings. So the first value in this string is a what? A t. So automatically t will take position what? 0 in indexing. So if I want t, I will just pass inside my square brackets, I will just pass my 0. Then I will get what? Value t. Is that okay? Is that okay? Anyone with a problem? Someone is talking about the search pattern. I don't understand which pattern. Yes. So these problems about installation, you will sort out maybe after class. It's simple. You just play with those. You open your IFS code. It will just solve.
Excuse me, sir. Can you just share that one?
Yes. So what I've said is that strings are indexed, and the indexing starts from 0. So the 0 goes to the first value in that strings of yours. So in this case, we have a string of a value. This is the indexing in strings. So the first value in that string, it is a t. What if you want to access the second value? Just remove 0. You place what? 1. You get what? H. Sorry. Now this one you get what? H. This. You can do the same. Try to access those values. You can do maybe 9. Okay. So another thing, if I give 100, if I give 100 and x of 100, and this string of mine doesn't what? Have an index of 100. So what would happen? I will get an error. I would get an error. So the error is that string index is out of range. So how would I be able to know instead of just counting 1, instead of counting 1, 0, every character inside here, how would I know the limit of the indexing? So what I would do, I'll just use the range function. So the range function will display the range of that string. So the range of sentence is what? It is 31. So I know if I start indexing from 0, then the last values should be what? Should be 30. So if I place 30 here, I will get what? The last string, that is S. If I place 31, I'll get an error. If I place 31, I'll get what? An error. So if you are keen enough, you can see at least now we are starting applying from other methods or other concepts, because I've said here.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
On my side, it read syntax error, but when I replaced with the len sentence, then it brings 31.
Which syntax error? This program of yours, the first program.
Yes.
Oh, which syntax error? Did you write the word sentence?
First I wrote how you are doing that sentence. This is the indexing in strings. Then I run the code, it brings the output. This is the indexing in strings. Then I wrote then from there it brought me the input hapo chini baada ya sentence input 9 in curly brackets, then sentence, then syntax error, invalid syntax.
Can you send that one? You combined the input function.
Maybe, I think so.
No, just don't combine them. We said input allows you to put values from the keyboard. Just work the way I'm working, then you will understand those things. You know, don't mix those things. They would give an error. So probably that one I have to see it so that I can identify the error. So the way you are trying to explain, I can't figure out the exact error.
Hello, I just want you to clarify why is the length 31, yet I see it is 30.
So I've said the range function displays or outputs the range of that variable. Remember, the range of that variable will start from 1, not 0. But for indexing, the indexing starts from 0. So if the range is that 1, therefore it means indexing will start from 0. It will reduce this that 1 by what? 1. That's why we are saying the last value in this sentence should be what? Should be 30, not 31. Is that okay?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Please just repeat how how I can open a new Jupyter file.
You want to open another file using VS Code or what?
Yes, yes.
So if you want to VS Code, you just come here, you say file. You do the same, just file, new file, then it open to ingine. The same way with Fanya. There's no harm. You just wait you open. Yangu imeanga. Mine imeanga. Is that okay? So mine imeanga actually, but you just do the same when you Fanya, then you open the new file. You created a new file. So the only kitu is jawambia how to save that file because ikiwa hapo save. Anyway, so at least muelewa mambo ya indexing. Just know that indexing starts from 0. So the first value, kama tungesema ni Geoffrey, sema name, my name, same as Geoffrey. Okay? So if I have to put my name, then I would have what? Geoffrey. So these are strings. The string value is Geoffrey. So if I want to access specific number from the word Geoffrey, I'll just use the what? The indexing. So I'll just write the name of that variable, that's my name, and then place the square brackets. Then inside there, I will place the indexing values. Alafu nimewambia the indexing starts from 0. So usually G will take value what? Indexing 0. E will take indexing 1 onwards. Okay? So that's it. That's the simple explanation. Then maybe if I want to access what? Access the last part. The last part. You will just count. So if you want to if you want to access the last part and you don't want to count all the values, what you do, you just find the range of that value, that's my name, and then to display the range of this, so it will tell you we have 8 characters. Characters ni hizi, leta moja, leta ya pili, those are characters. Takwambia we have 8 characters in this string of yours. So kama uko na 8 characters na index inaanza na 0, So that automatically means the last indexing should be what? 7. So if you insert 7, it will display the value of the last character. That's why. Instead of guessing work, so that ukiweka 8 then itakuletea error. Nakwambia hiyo value haiko kwa hiyo range. So the string index is out of range. Anyway, I think I'm done. So time inaenda. Let me explain the last part ambayo ni how can you access now the range of values, because hapa tumeona tuna access data moja moja. So if you want to do that, you just write the word, just do the same kama hii. Iko wapi? This one. So you define your starting. Maybe you want to start from 1 to what? To index 4. You use unatumia nini? Unatumia the colon. So you define 1 to 4, itakuja hapa. Ikuje, this is index 0. Index 1 ni E. So itaprint E. Itaprint E ambayo iko index what? Index 1. Itaprint O ambayo iko index 2. Itaprint F ambayo iko index what? 3. But haitaprint the F ya pili ambayo iko index 4. So that's how it works. That's how it works. Wakati una define hizo ranges, the value ya mwisho haitakuwa nini? Haitakuwa printed. Ukisema 6, then useme 3. Itaanza from 3 but haitaprint the value yenye kwa index 6. That's how it works. So utaielewa that way. So you can play now with those indexing we una access values. Sawa. So kesho tutafanya probably forums. Yeah, kesho tutafanya forums, kesho kutwa we summarize those things. There's an error I wanted to explain. Let me remember that error. Yes. So in Python we have something called case sensitive. Case sensitive. I want to explain this one. Case sensitive. So case sensitive, it means Python actually it just takes the way you write those values. If I write name, it's not the same as name. Is that okay? Let me give an example. Let me just use a simple example. I'm writing small x, which is same as to 10. I'm writing capital X, which is same as to 5. Now, I want to output those values. Output X capital. Then I want to output what? Small x. So you can see, kama X ingekuwa the same, tungekuwa na value moja. But in this case, X is different. Small x. Just mute. So in this case, small x is not equals to capital S. That's what we are calling case sensitive. So when you are trying to write those names, those variable names, take care of the way you write them. That's how you output them. Actually, if you forget, then you would have something like value is not defined. Hiyo iko sawa. So let's finish the class. Then tomorrow tutafanya probably forums na yes, if statements hizo tutachanganya hizo forums if
When you say you will show us how to save.
Oh, to save the files. Very simple. Very simple. Very simple. Kwa wale watu wenye wanatumia hii browser, tulisema the name of the file iko given us at title 3, so you double click that, then You change to what you want. Maybe day 2. Press enter. Day 2 file itakuwa hapa kwa home page. Kuja hapa we have what? Our day 2 file iko wapi? Ndio hii. Yes. So for the VS Code, what you do is very simple. Unakuja hapa kwa file. Let me just reload. Unakuja kwa file. Let me say this is the file I want to save. Just a moment. This is the file I want to save. The untitled 2 file. So I think kama uko na shida, you just go and what? Restoration problems. VS Code just ng'ang'ana. Unaifungua, unaikataa, unaifunga alafu unaifungua. You try to restart your VS Code, it will work eventually. Is that okay? Hizo ni simple things you enjoy kusolve.
Kindly repeat for VS Code.
Yes, I'm saying for VS Code, what you do, you want to repeat for the opening or creating files, or what do you want me to repeat? I was trying to explain how to save the
Saving.
Yeah, for the saving, you go to the file, and then you can see save option. You click save. Just wait. Yeah, we hang. Don't know what's the problem today. So click the save. Inakuchukua kwa your local machine. You define specifically unataka kuisave wapi. I think that one works. Huh? Is that okay? Yes, it should work. It should work. Yes, so nimemaliza hiyo class ya leo. Kesho tutafanya functions na if statements. And then tutafanya some data types. Some are complex. Tutafanya list. Then we do documents. We do find internal. Yes. Hizi vitu the more tunazifanya the more uzuri. I've sent the notes. Just kama uko very lazy, copy hizo nini, copy hizo notes, and then hizo commands, paste them, run them. Sawa, but a good way ni kutype hizo words. The most important elewa venye. So I want to actually close the meeting unless anyone has a question. Anyone with a question? Yes, so let me stop there.